Welcome back. I am Collins Trott, Child Development Faculty on the Wallace Community College Dothan campus. In this episode, we are going to be learning about diverse learners and literacy. American schools are becoming more ethnically and culturally diverse. Literacy instruction in early childhood is child-centered and must therefore meet the needs of diverse children. Literacy should include a variety of contexts such as cognitive, cultural, historical, economic, moral, physical, and social-emotional. Diverse learners include children who speak languages other than English, are gifted and talented, have learning disabilities, have physical disabilities, or live in poverty. Multicultural classrooms include children from different cultures, ethnicities, languages, traditions, religions, communication skills, learning strengths and needs, and physical abilities. Using only one style of teaching precludes the possibility of reaching all types of learners. Because there are different learning styles, the best teaching method involves having a variety of learning approaches connected to Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences theory. Diversity in the classroom involves teaching young children with various backgrounds and different learning and physical characteristics. Linguistic diversity and cultural diversity also include children at risk for autism or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, learning disabilities, and struggling readers. Literacy for young children encourages collaboration with children, families, teachers, administrators, and community members. Families of different cultures must learn to live together in a diverse world. Learning about others through dialogue and communication is known as cultural synthesis. According to Paulo Freire, his theory emphasized sharing knowledge of diverse groups through awareness and discussion. Freire believed that children learn about oppression or prejudice from their home atmosphere, and if that environment is free and caring, children will learn to be more tolerant of each other. Critical consciousness, known as self-knowledge, starts in the home and, with active participation, will be transferred to the classroom. So join me, Miss Trott, as we learn all about diverse learners and literacy. The important aspects of diversity in education allow children to learn about diverse cultural backgrounds and different abilities, appreciate and accept differences to promote respect and caring, and discover how to solve problems or complete tasks using multiple perspectives through critical thinking. Diverse learners are supported through innovative, activity-based sensory education models. Every child is unique. Therefore, a child-centered approach with differentiated instruction will meet the needs of all children. Teachers should be sensitive to diverse learners by valuing their abilities, cultural heritage, and native languages while teaching standard English. Our classrooms must be prepared to accommodate the needs of our growing multicultural population. Teachers should create a welcoming and safe environment where all children learn from each other by sharing personal stories, cultural celebrations, and traditions. The learning environment is richer from the varied backgrounds of children. Language contains meaningful symbols used to communicate thoughts and feelings. When learning language, children process sounds, letters, words, and sentences to create meaning. Teachers must address the needs of all children considering cultural and linguistic resources they bring to the classroom. Children who have well-developed oral and written skills in their native language are able to proceed with the acquisition of the second language, reading much faster. It is important for teachers to include learning strategies that support children's diverse language abilities. Some examples of how to make English more understandable for English language learners are previewing, real-world connections, guided reading instruction, and story retelling. When previewing, teachers introduce key vocabulary and make personal connections. Differentiated instruction is essential in a diverse classroom. Differentiated instruction means tailoring teaching to the individual needs of your students, either in small groups or in one-on-one instructions. Teachers should consider 3 aspects of learning before instruction. First, utilize informational diagnostic assessments for students' readiness, such as running records, KWL charts, vocabulary lists, or informal reading inventories. Next, identify student reading motivation and interest through surveys, interviews, interest inventories. Lastly, determine students' learning styles and preferences through observations, checklists, interviews, anecdotal notes, and questionnaires. Teachers use the information gathered from these three aspects of learning to determine the student's readiness for learning and to plan differentiated instruction. Differentiation strategies that assist children in developing a range of literacy skills include tier assignments, compacting, interest centers or groups, flexible grouping, learning contracts, and choice boards. Response to intervention, also abbreviated as RTI, is one method of differentiating instruction. RTI assesses the effectiveness of research-based interventions to improve academic performance for a child with a specific disability. RTI is a three-tiered approach to meet the needs of at-risk learners in reading, math, behavior, and other areas. The classroom teacher typically provides Tier 1 and Tier 2 instruction with standard curriculum and scaffolded curriculum. Students who are not making progress after a sufficient period of time are placed in Tier 3 instruction, usually provided by a reading coach or a reading specialist. We are living in a multicultural society. Multiculturalism is a complex issue involving race, ethnicity, class, religion, sex, and age. Multicultural literature is an effective way to value diversity and celebrate the various cultures and backgrounds of the children. In a diverse, culturally responsive classroom, there should be books in classrooms and school libraries that represent different cultures. Teachers in diverse classrooms must understand children, their families, and their cultural background to teach them effectively. We need to know children as individuals, realizing that not all members of a cultural or ethnic group are the same. We must acknowledge our cultural biases and stereotypes so that we can recognize the strengths and needs of all children. Including a wide range of texts that feature diversity in the classroom library encourages children to understand and connect cultural concepts. Teachers should consider how well the books in the class library represent the diversity of ethnic and cultural backgrounds of the children. When selecting multicultural children's literature, teachers should consider many different factors, including the authenticity of the text and illustrations. Diversity in literacy includes students who have various challenges, such as they struggle to read due to physical disability. The cause of young children's challenges can be a myriad or a combination of disabilities in visual, auditory, emotional, or social. These disabilities may occur together or separate and are sometimes difficult to diagnose. Structured routines, guided strategies, and using visuals to engage children will help them feel more in control of their learning. Cultural and linguistic diversity are intertwined. Language is the mainstay of culture, and many traditions, such as songs and poetry or literature, are based on common customs. Children with special needs may require assisted learning or scaffolding through teachers and peers using cooperative learning. In a diverse classroom, teachers must address the needs of all types of learners, such as children with cognitive disabilities like Down syndrome or dyslexia, emotional disabilities like ADHD and autism spectrum, and physical disabilities like auditory and visual disorders. Gifted and talented children also have special needs. Children with gifts and talents in areas such as language arts, music, and visual arts often have unique needs that are supported through teaching and learning accommodations. Gifted is intellectual and pertains to children who retain and critically analyze large amounts of information and make cognitively advanced connections between knowledge sets. Talented is creative, and children demonstrate abilities often through the arts that usually indicate the following characteristics: awareness of creativity, attraction to complexity, curious, energetic, humorous, independent, intuitive, and originality. Teachers should adapt instructional materials, strategies, practices, and assessments to meet the needs of children who are gifted and talented. When planning curriculum for children with special needs, teachers should consider the following concepts: inclusion, age appropriateness, participation levels, empowerment, children first language, and values. Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act identifies specific disabilities which include autism, deafblindness, deafness, developmental delay, emotional disturbance, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, other health impairment, specific learning disabilities, speech or language impairment, traumatic brain injury, and visual impairment, including blindness. Accommodations or modifications are needed to support children in literacy development. Using strategies that include connection, demonstration, active involvement, and links to learning, the teacher and children can create an interactive environment that facilitates emergent literacy development. In diverse classrooms, teachers use a variety of strategies and activities to engage children in reading and language arts. Learning styles, according to Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, vary according to children's strengths and needs. Accommodations or modifications are needed to support children in literacy development in all areas of diversity, including language development, linguistic diversity, cultural diversity, struggling readers, and children with special needs or learning disorders, including those who are gifted and talented. Now, let's review what we've learned. Teaching and learning strategies vary accordingly to children's literacy development and needs. Diverse learners require accommodations in the learning environment and for specific tasks. Multicultural literature helps children from different backgrounds understand similarities and differences between cultures and value their cultural identity. Children's books in bilingual formats are meaningful and relevant to English language learners. All children benefit from hands-on learning through real-world experiences, visual representation, and cooperative learning. Parental involvement in the literacy classroom to promote cultural sharing enhances children's literacy development. Teachers must know their students' strengths, needs, interests, hopes, and dreams to guide them to reach their full literacy potential. That wraps us up for this episode. You can learn more about this topic by reviewing the resources posted in your course. As always, if you have any questions, please contact me or your instructor. Thanks for joining me, Miss Trott, as we learned all about diverse learners and literacy. See you next time.